Hello and welcome back to the Madman Big Finish Review, a video series where I review one of the latest Big Finish releases. We haven't done one of these in a while, but I'm back. I'm back with a liar. I'm calling him Pixel. I refuse to use the full name until I see a doctorate, until I see a degree. Stolen valor. You could go to jail for this, Pixel.
Prove you're Australian. Prove it right now.
I could prove whatever I want without any evidence. Here, you want to see my permit? Right here.
Coda!
Anyway, I'm here with Pixel, and we are here to talk about Finally, the end, the additional end to Big Finish's celebration of Doctor Who's 60th anniversary, which was last year. Once and Future Coda, the final act, starring Jo Martin making her Big Finish debut as the fugitive Doctor, Jonathan Carley as the young War Doctor, and Lisa Bauman as Professor Bernie Summerfield. Now, I can say professor for her because she's legit, all right? That's a legit professor.
Talk about the story, boy.
Yes, so written by written by Tim Foley.
Timmy.
Tom Foley is his brother. Tom Fillet is mirror dimension Tim Foley. So, written by Tim Foley, Coda, the final act, the Time War. Dealing with the repercussions of degeneration, the Doctor has a limited window of time to evade capture, recruit old allies, wage a war, and find out what's really going on. A warrior is being hunted by a mysterious stranger in a TARDIS. A rogue agent has been assigned a mission to eliminate a dangerous foe. This is a fight between a war criminal and a fugitive. A fight between doctors. Please note the special edition release can now only be purchased as part of a download bundle. Click on the bundle button above for more details. Sorry, I'm reading the entire description.
I have it up too.
That's what he said. But anyway, Coda, the final act. This is the last part of Once and Future. It was to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. You might be wondering, hang on, the 60th was in 2023. It's 2024. This isn't the 60th anniversary. It would be the 61st. Yeah, imagine our shock when we found that out. That only 7 out of the 8 parts would actually come out in 2023. The final part would come out over a year later. Like just before Doctor Who Day. So it's finally here. How was it? Was it worth the wait? Did we really need to wait a year for it?
No.
Pixel.
No.
You were supposed to wait till I led into you, but yeah, Pixel. What were your thoughts on Coda?
So overall, this story is a lot of levels of fine. It's fine. The Jo Martin, she's very entertaining. And we have Jonathan
Carley.
Thank you. I was about to say Crawley.
Crawley.
Jonathan
You're
Carley.
thinking of a different actor that played a doctor.
As a
that played a different
young ward. In the alternate universe, Jonathan Crawley plays the even older War Doctor.
The even younger War Doctor. Infant.
Nothing happens in war.
No more.
You gotta face done. This is I wish the story was as entertaining as this conversation, because it's fine. like I said, Joe Martin does a great job. Jonathan Carley does a great job. And it's nice to hear Lisa Bowerman. But the rest is all, it's fluff. Fluff. I didn't realize that Coda, the final act, was meaning Coda. It's a planet named Coda where the final act is happening. And it's a war that's prompted by a slug.
Doctor Who, everyone. Doctor Who.
I really, really am disappointed. And I don't know. I mean, I was kind of expecting to be. It's like I said, it's not a bad story or anything. It's just not particularly good. Joe Martin's fine. Jonathan Carley's fine. It's all levels of fine. And you get to the end and you're like, this really had to be a part of Once and Future. Because they went ahead and wanted to make it a part of Once and Future.
It barely does.
It's barely connected by the fact that it's just immediately after the degeneration finishes. That's it. It's
yeah.
It's sad.
Going into this because of Once and Future, my expectations were low. I tried not to. I want it to be in a middle ground. I want to give it its fair shot. But because I was so burned by Once and Future, my expectations of this were low. I came out just thinking, this is a fine story. It's okay. The performances are great. There are some fun moments, like the Doctor recruiting Queen Elizabeth and her armies. And there's a floating ship being pulled by the TARDIS. That's fun. That's cool.
Yeah, that's
the Vord,
fun
the fugitive Doctor has recruited the Vord. That's fun. Remember the Vord? But much like with A Genius for War and Time Lord Immemorial, this has nothing to do with Once and Future. And unlike with those two, the story is done. It ended a year ago in the Union. So this mainly felt more of a teaser for the Fugitive Doctor adventures.
Kinda. And it's not a very good teaser at that. It's just
not really.
No.
Like this is like out of like all of Once and Future, this felt the most pointless. Because it's just a pointless epilogue.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't need to exist. Like I said, Genius for War and Time Lord Immemorial, they completely derailed the story by having nothing to do with it. The story was done.
Yeah.
There was no need. This could have just been something else. This could have been like
if they had named it anything else.
Literally anything else. If they named it anything else, I probably would not have as much as a problem with it as I do now if it was literally named anything else. But the fact that it is tied to Once and Future and that it came out a year later, over a year later, because I'm pretty sure Once and Future ended in October. So this came out over a year later, 13 months later, and this is it? It's just an okay story bolstered by performances? Yeah. It's like, Big Finish, what are you doing? Which is what I was saying throughout Once and Future, like, what are you doing? You've had, aside from Joe Martin, everything else, you had years to plan this. And this is what we get. So I'm kind of glad that they got restrictions put onto them. Because Once and Future is the biggest example of just like, we need to lessen Big Finish's control on stuff. Like, we can't have stuff like this coming out where it's like, it's not cohesive. It's just whatever, throwing darts at the board. Now, granted, sometimes like the weirdest choices were the most entertaining, like with the Sixth Doctor story. It's like, yeah, Six with Harry and Jackie and Lady Christina. That sounds god awful. It was one of the better stories.
It really was one of the better stories. It was so entertaining. But that's the thing. And you go ahead, you have your company not named, but your tagline now is "For the love of stories." Then tell a good one.
Yeah, tell a good one.
Go ahead and have a writer go ahead and make a story. I am sure that if they went to somebody and said, "Hey, I want you to give me something with the War Doctor and the Fugitive Doctor having to meet," somebody could have come up with something just a little more. All of this is fine and fun and fluff, but the image of the Doctor pulling a spaceship across, this is an audio format. Your strength is not just going ahead and describing that to me. It's really not. Like, oh, this is cool. This is so cool. I love this. I love using my imagination as much as the next person. But realize where your strength lies. And that's in character moments. And this does have plenty of little character moments. But again, it's a fog. Even when the War Doctor and the Fugitive Doctor meet and they go, contact. I mean, I guess because the Fugitive Doctor goes in the past, whenever they separate, yeah, she'll forget. I don't know why he exactly forgets.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, now that you point that out, yeah, like, why does... Yeah. Again, that would require me to listen to this again, and I really kind of don't want to.
No, I really don't want to either. Yeah, he like, probably mentioned something.
Unless we missed something. That's a huge... Like, that's kind of a problem.
He probably says something to... It's Perry at the end, isn't it? He goes and he pretty much explains the whole degeneration thing and said, I needed to tell an old friend about all this. And then I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Perry, right?
I don't think so, no.
No? Who is it? It's not Bernice. It's just a lady. And also Queen Elizabeth I going off with the board. Oh yes, it's Travel the Stars.
Yeah, that's fun. That could be something fun.
That's fluff and fun.
That's fluff and fun. I like that. The whole stuff.
But no, if because the War Doctor has to forget.
Yeah, that's the thing. The War Doctor has to forget.
Maybe he mentioned something about it's already fading from my mind, but I can't recall that right now.
Yeah, because the whole thing with like even without the degeneration, the whole thing with like Doctors meeting is that the past incarnation forgets because their timelines are out of sync.
But the oldest Doctor will remember.
Yeah. So unless we miss something, like, that's a huge, like, continuity issue. Unless it's like the whole thing is, oh, the degeneration will just make me forget anyway.
Maybe he said something along those lines.
I guess.
But even then, that's something that should be mentioned. I don't know. This could have been done better. This could have been done so much better.
It makes it worse because this is by Tim Foley. He's kind of like Big Finish's like big writer right now. Like everyone loves Tim Foley. Like even I do.
He does good work. I'm not saying this isn't a bad story. It's not. But it's nothing. This was not worth waiting a year for. This was not something that had to wait a year for. Why? Just so that we're a little closer to the Fugitive Doctor releases? Why? Why not go ahead and get us excited for that last year? Finish it up with here's a Pardon me. Here's a touch of the past, looking into the future. Big finish. Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
But
this feels like this. I can't remember who it was. I think it was the It might have been Finish Big. Because I've been watching.
Sorry.
I've been watching like their reviews, a few of their reviews, especially on like Once and Future. I think, and this for the one for Coda, I believe one of them mentions like it feels like Once and Future it feels more like it's supposed to be a promo for series that they're launching. But the thing is, there's no series that they're launching aside from the Fugitive Doctor.
Yeah.
It's like if you like this, we have this in the future.
Yeah.
Because the Coda just mainly feels like this is to like get you ready for the Fugitive Doctor adventures.
Recorded on the 1st of February, 2023.
So that is the most recent. It would have to be because of Joe Martin.
I guess
it is the most recent of Once and Future, I believe. What a pointless series. I hate to say that.
It's fun to have these moments, but you go ahead and you do this, and we ranted and raved in favor of what was it? The audio novel. Freaking 9 hours long. Huh?
Box of Terrors?
Box of Terrors. It was a fantastic story. It absolutely was a story worthy of celebrating 60 years of Doctor Who. Meanwhile, you have Once and Future, which is a bunch of fun interactions. For what?
For a plot that is barely cohesive.
Not for... Where is the plot?
Then its epilogue
is not really there.
Then its epilogue is not in the 60th year. 60th anniversary year. It's a year later, and it's nothing. It's a nothing burger. It's flop.
It's a nothing burger.
It's infuriating because I love Doctor Who and I love Big Finish, and I know Big Finish can do better. I know Tim Foley can do better. He did Diary of River Song Series 11, Friend of the Family.
I'm not blaming Tim Foley.
Fucking fantastic box set. He did Pursuit of the Nightjar, which was in Fifth Doctor Adventures in the Night. Absolutely amazing story. A lot of people liked his The Great Cyber War from Audacity. I thought it was okay, but a lot of people really loved that story.
Great Cyber War is a very good story. It really is.
I thought it was fine. It was okay. But like I know Tim could do better, but like this is like apart from me, the Great Cyber War, it's his most okay story. Just like in the middle. Just whatever. But I do agree. I don't think it is Tim's fault.
No. It's definitely not his fault.
It is definitely more the creatives. Not creative. Producers.
Yeah.
It is more Jason Haigh-Ellery and Nicholas Briggs. Because you've had years to do this. You've been doing this series for years. And this is what you give us. I'm not particularly looking forward to the next time you try an anniversary.
Well, at least this doesn't like have any weight on what I'm expecting with the Fugitive Doctor adventures. I'm still very excited for those. I think that they have a chance to do something very entertaining. They can make
minus Daleks.
I love Daleks.
I don't think Daleks should have been in the first box set. I don't think Daleks.
No, you're right. The Daleks should be in the first box set.
With the Fugitive Doctor, that just felt like Nick Briggs being indulged. He's indulging himself.
Who's writing for this first one?
I know Tim Foley is one of the writers, so that's why he wrote this one. Fugitive Doctor. So there's Robert Valentine, Rashana Patel, Lisa McMullen. Oh no, Tim Foley must be one of the producers then, I think. Oh, he's a script editor with Robert Valentine. I guess. So yeah, Robert Valentine, Roshana Patel, and Lisa McMullen. So you got some solid writers there. You got some pretty solid writers.
And like I said, the description looks like it could be something very good. The story's probably promising.
You got Daleks in there. Nick Briggs is one of the executive producers. He can't help himself.
You have 2 Joe Martins.
You've got the Borg Queen, Alice Krieg.
I want to go ahead and say, and I realize this isn't a speculation video, but when I'm looking at this cover again, the Dalek on the left-hand side is all pretty much red and black and stuff. Looks pretty like old school Dalek. So that has some promise.
Looks cool. I just don't want Daleks in the Fugitive Doctor series. It just doesn't. It honestly doesn't make. It is them being like same with like. No, we love the Beyond Wargame stuff, but it with them it's like we can do anything because at the end the Doctor is going to forget.
But
and like in the end,
so that's the problem.
I mean, the Daleks have forgotten the Doctor before, remember?
Well, still, you'd have to, like, I don't think they're going to make a Clara 2. Electric Boogaloo.
But anyway, yeah, Coda, the final act, what would you rate this?
You want me to give this a number?
We have to. We're professionals.
That's what the prof is for. It's professional.
Not for you. That's just
professor.
That's stolen power.
I'll give this a 6. There's a lot of entertaining factors to it. It is, but I'm taking a lot of points away because it's just frustrating. This is not a good anniversary special. It really is not, and I can think of it not as that, which is why I'm giving it a 6 because there's a lot of okay things here. It's a lot of fluff. It's a lot of fun, but at the end of the day, does it really make any sense? No, it does not. The War Doctor is convinced by a slime monster to wage a war
against himself.
Themself.
For me, I'm giving it a 5. It's an okay story. There are fun parts in the story. Performances are great. I am excited to listen to more Jo Martin in her own stuff, but I still have to take into account that this is part of Once and Future, and it being part of Once and Future, it is entirely pointless because the story was over. The story was done. This did not need to be attached to Once and Future. This could have just been its own special thing. You could do it release it on Doctor Who Day and be like, hey, the 2 forgotten incarnations of the Doctor meet. Like, that's a fun enough premise on its own. The incarnation that 8, 9, that 9, 10, and 11 wanted to forget, meeting an incarnation they never knew they had. Like, that's a fun premise. And then you can still include, like, Bernie Summerfield, like Vianna Salvatore. You can have the whole, like, Vord thing. You can have the whole Queen Elizabeth thing. You can have fun with it. And this being, like, a teaser for, like, this is a little bit of what you're going to get with the Fugitive Doctor adventures. You know, stay in tune for that.
Yeah.
But to tie it into Once and Future, there was no reason. There was no need. Big Finish, you frustrate me.
You frustrate me, sir.
Every time you come out with, like, something peak, like First Doctor Adventures, give me this. I don't understand. I want to just examine the brains of Jason Haig-Ellery and Nicholas Briggs and figure out, like, why.
Why?
Just why.
Tell me why.
Not even how, just why.
Tell me why.
Because of the anniversaries that they've done, Box of Terrors is great. Came out the same year. Light at the End is a better anniversary. It still suffers from the same thing of, like, yeah, the first, second, and third Doctor have very minimal roles, which was the same with this. And you could argue with that one.
Oh my god! No! I have to go ahead and.
Let me finish. Because in Light at the End, I could give them maybe some leeway. They didn't really have official actors, properly. Like, I think it was William Russell and Fraser Hines were doing the roles of the first and second Doctor. I think maybe Tim Treloar was doing third. I think it was maybe around that time. But this one they have. Still have Tim Treloar as the third Doctor, but now you have Stephen Noonan as the first, and you have Michael Troughton as the second. Of the three, the first Doctor has more to do, which I think was what you were going to point out. He does have, of those three Doctors, he is the one that has actually a bit to do before he degenerates.
Regenerate. That's such a frustrating thing. And some of those stories.
Yeah, but other than that, like, the second and third Doctor have barely anything to do. So it's like, this is a Doctor Who celebration, and barely all of them have time to give focus. You give the fourth Doctor 2. He gets the first story, and then he gets second billing with 8.
As an older version of himself.
Yeah.
There is what I was going to point out was just you want to have a multi-Doctor story, then just do a proper multi-Doctor story. You can use the concept of degeneration if you want, but use it properly. It's a gimmick here. It's just a gimmick. This story exists to answer a question that nobody really had, which was about the degeneration weapon. At the end, nobody really was curious about it. It's a gimmick. It's plainly a gimmick. We do not care. And you made us not care because it wasn't truly a focus. Stories were not the focus here. And that was the problem. But that's all.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just the gimmick and just having, guys, what if this character met this one? It's just like, that's all you kind of did. You did it a lot. Okay? You already did a lot of, like, what if these characters met these characters? It's like, it's nothing new. It's nothing refreshing. So, yeah. But it's finally over. We don't have to talk about it anymore. Maybe. Am I doing a retrospective?
No.
Who knows? But, yep, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10 for Coda, the final act. Thank you, everyone, for checking in and watching this review. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you've listened to Coda, the final act, let us know your thoughts in the comments.
Down below.
Down below.
Did you forget how to point down?
I had to take into account that I'm in Australia, so maybe I'm upside down. So
you should point it up.
So
there you go. Thank you.
Maybe with the turn of the Earth, it might be over here.
No, we don't account for that. That's going too far.
Oh, okay. Whatever, flat earther.
Did I say that?
The Earth doesn't turn because it's flat. Duh.
It spins. It's a disc.
But anyway, that's it for this review. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember to tune into our weekly live streams. They're a lot of fun. Well, I make fun of you, so yes, they're a lot of fun. We'll see you all next time. Alonzi, Geronimo,
Alonzi.
Madmen, for the love of mediocre stories.